Hello and welcome back to Divorce in Plain English UK. I'm Vincent and this is Chapter 9. In the last chapter, we talked about staying financially healthy after divorce, reviewing your situation, planning ahead, and protecting your future. Today, I want to tackle something slightly different. This chapter is about common questions and myths around divorce finances in England and Wales. These are the things I hear all the time, both when I was going through this myself and from other people who are in the middle of it now. Some of these myths can be really damaging if you make decisions based on them, so I want to address them head-on in plain English. As always, a quick reminder before we go any further. I'm speaking from my own experience and from general information. I'm not a solicitor or a financial advisor. This is not legal or financial advice. Your situation will be unique, and you should always speak to a professional about your own case. Let's start with one of the biggest myths. Myth number 1. Everything is always 50-50. You hear this a lot. People say, well, the law says it's half each, doesn't it? In reality, the starting point in many cases, especially after a long marriage, might be equality. But the court's job is not to do simple arithmetic. The court has to look at needs, resources, and what is fair in your particular circumstances. If there are children, their needs and stability come first. If one of you earns much more than the other or has much better prospects, that can affect the outcome. If one person has health issues that affect their ability to work, that matters too. Sometimes a 50-50 split of the overall pot is fair. Sometimes it isn't. The point is that the court is not bound to do a straight split. It's about fairness, not maths. Myth number 2. If the house is in my name, it's mine. This is another common misunderstanding. People think that because a property, a bank account, or a pension is in their sole name, it is automatically theirs to keep. In English and Welsh family law, the court looks at all the assets built up during the marriage, regardless of whose name they are in. A house in your sole name can still be part of the pot. A pension in your sole name can still be part of the pot. The same goes for savings and investments. The court can and does make orders that affect assets in one person's name only. The legal title is not the same as how things are treated in a divorce. That can be a shock if you've always thought, this is mine. Myth number 3. If my name isn't on it, I get nothing. This is the same problem in reverse. Some people, often the one who stayed at home or worked part-time, are terrified because their name isn't on the house, or the pension, or certain accounts. They assume they'll walk away with nothing. Again, the court looks at the whole picture, the length of the marriage, contributions inside and outside the home, what was built up during the relationship, and what each of you now needs. The fact that your name isn't on the deeds or the pension statement doesn't automatically mean you have no claim. Myth number 4. If I work harder or earn more now, I'll just be punished for it. This one is tricky because it comes from a place of real fear. You might think, why should I push myself to get a better job or work extra hours if the court is just going to give more to my ex because I earn more? The reality is more nuanced. Your earning capacity is one of the factors the court looks at. A higher earner may well be expected to shoulder more of the financial burden, especially where children are involved. But that doesn't mean you are punished for working. In the long run, your ability to earn is one of your biggest assets. It's what will support you and your children in the years after the divorce. Undermining your own income out of fear can leave you worse off and more vulnerable. It's understandable to resent feeling responsible, but stepping back on purpose usually doesn't help you. Myth number 5. I don't need to disclose everything as long as the final result feels fair. I understand the temptation here. When you're exhausted and desperate for the whole thing to be over, you might think, if we can just agree something that feels roughly fair, who cares if we don't list every detail? The problem is that the whole financial remedy system is built on full and frank disclosure. If either of you withholds information, hides assets, or is not honest, it can come back later. An order that was based on incomplete or dishonest information can in some cases be challenged. Also, what feels roughly fair in the moment might look very different when you see all the figures clearly. You can't make informed decisions if you're working with half the picture. In my own case, as tired as I was, I had to keep going back to the paperwork, to the statements, to the numbers, because I knew that if I gave up on disclosure, I was really giving up on my future self. Myth number 6. The court will punish bad behavior. This is another one that comes